Come closer, children of the fire. Let your ears be wide. Let your hearts be open. For tonight I bring you a tale from the red earth, where the rivers sing and the Baobab holds the secrets of time. This is the tale of Okoro and Jumo, two brothers bound by blood, yet torn apart by pride, and the long road to forgiveness. Long ago, in the land of wide skies, Okoro was a hunter of great renown. His spear flew straight, his bow whispered death to the swiftest antelope. But in his chest beat a heart that grew heavier with each passing moon. For one day, when hunger haunted the land, his brother Jumo betrayed him. They had hunted together, but Jumo stole the greater share and, before the elders, he spat lies. It was Okoro who abandoned the hunt. The village whispered. Okoro's name was stained. From that day, Okoro turned his back on his brother. But listen well. Jumo did not kneel, nor did he apologize. No, he stood tall, his chin high, as though his lie were truth. His silence was sharper than any insult. The more Jumo showed no regret, the more Okoro's anger burned. Children, fire does not feed itself, it needs wood. And Jumo's coldness was wood upon Okoro's fire. Seasons passed. Okoro took a wife, but when the drums beat for his marriage, he sent no word to his brother. Jumo was left outside the circle of joy. When his first child was born, Okoro did not allow Jumo to see the baby's face. His children grew strong, yet they never knew the sound of their uncle's laugh, nor the games of their cousins. But the village has long ears. The children heard whispers. Where is your father's brother? Why do you not play with your cousins? Why do you not know the blood of your own blood? Shame shadowed their young hearts, but Okoro turned away, as though Jumo did not exist. Time marched. The sun and moon traded places. The years stacked high like baskets of millet. Wrinkles carved the brothers' faces. Their hair grew grey as morning ash, and the quarrel that had once been hot as fire, began to feel small. Jumo, in his old age, began to taste bitterness not only from his brother's silence, but from his own heart. He remembered the teachings of their parents. A family divided is a drum with a split skin. It cannot sing. He felt the weight of wasted years pressing on his chest. And so, one evening, he went to the village elder, a man wise as the moon and slow as the river. He bowed low and begged, "Father, help me. My brother's eyes no longer see me. My voice cannot reach him. Will you stand between us and call back the peace we have lost?" The elder sighed, his breath heavy with sorrow. "Pride, my son, is a mountain. Even a bird cannot easily fly over it. But still, we shall try." But when the elder spoke to Okoro, his heart was hard as dried clay. He spat upon the ground and said, "Let him stay in his corner. My life is whole without his shadow." So the mountain stood. Then came the dry season. The sun baked the land until the millet crumbled in the fields. And with the heat came a sickness. It moved like a shadow at dusk, silent, sure, stealing breath. The strong fell, the weak fell, the old and the young alike. Jumo's family was struck. His wife, his children, his grandchildren all lay sweating on their mats, coughing into the night. And Okoro? He did not visit. He said, "Let the hyena tend to its own den." But the spirits are patient. They turned their gaze upon Okoro himself. One evening, his forehead grew hot as the cooking pot. His bones trembled like reeds in the wind. His strength melted. Day after day he grew weaker. He could no longer lift his bow. His family's hope began to wither like the dry grass. Dumo came. Yes, Dumo came to his hut, though his own bones ached with fever. He knelt by Okoro's mat, but Okoro turned his face away. He would not meet his brother's eyes. Not a word left his lips. The silence between them was thick as mud. At last, Okoro's wife, desperate as a mother eagle, traveled far to another village, seeking a healer of great power. This healer was said to cure even the sickness that spirits tie to a man's soul. At sunrise, the healer entered Okoro's hut. He carried a rattle of cowries, his face painted with white clay. He began the ritual, chanting words older than memory. Smoke of burning herbs curled through the air. Suddenly, Okoro coughed, deep, sharp, as though the sickness itself resisted the healer's song. The healer fixed his eyes upon the dying man and spoke with the weight of the ancestors. "My son, the ancestors speak. The sickness in your body is the sickness in your heart. You have bound yourself in chains of resentment. Release your brother, and you will release yourself. The cure is within you. Heal your heart, and your body will heal itself." Then he added a proverb, like a spear thrown into the silence. "He who carries anger drinks poison and waits for another to die." The hut grew still. Even the crickets hushed, as if the night itself leaned in to listen. Then the healer gathered his cowries and gourds, bowed to the family, and left. That night, Okoro drifted into uneasy sleep. He dreamt strange dreams. Rivers running backward, the moon dripping blood. And in those dreams, he saw a great Baobab tree, its branches spread wide like arms of spirits. Beneath it sat the ancestors, their eyes glowing like embers. One voice rose, deep as a drumbeat. "Okoro, the sickness in your body is the sickness in your heart. You have bound yourself in chains of resentment. Release your brother, and you will release yourself." But even in the dream, Okoro clenched his jaw. "He wronged me," he said, and the spirits replied with a proverb. "A gourd that holds poison cannot also carry fresh water. Let go, or you will wither." He woke, trembling, sweat soaking his mat. The dream sat upon him like a heavy stone. Yet still, his pride was stronger than his will. The sickness worsened. His body grew frail. Food turned to ash in his mouth. He could not swallow. His children wept at his side, fearing the hunter would soon journey to join the ancestors. Then, one day, a griot came wandering into the village, a singer with hair white as ash and a voice that rang clear like the strings of a kora. In the marketplace he lifted his voice, and the people gathered to listen. He sang, "The hawk does not fly with stones in its wings. The river does not flow with fire in its bed. Forgive, and you will be light. Release, and you will be free." And as he finished, he declared, "The tree that refuses to bend will break when the storm comes." The song pierced Okoro's heart like a thorn. He remembered the dream. He remembered the Baobab. He remembered the words of the healer. And so, with the little strength left in his bones, Okoro called for his brother. Dumo came, cautious, his beard silvered with age. Shame weighed on his shoulders, but his eyes still carried the shadow of that old betrayal. Okoro looked upon him. This man who had shared his mother's womb, who had once run laughing beside him in the moonlight. And though his pride resisted, his soul trembled. Slowly, painfully, he said, "Brother, the stone I have carried has broken me. I cannot carry it longer. I release you. I forgive you." At these words, Jumo fell to his knees, his tears spilling upon the earth like the first rains after drought. He pressed his forehead into the dust and whispered, "And I forgive myself only because you have forgiven me." And the people who witnessed said aloud the proverb of the elders: "When two brothers reconcile, the hut is repaired and the roof stops leaking." That very night, the fever lifted from Okoro's body. He rose from his mat, weak but alive. The people marveled and said, "The ancestors have spared him." The brothers embraced, and the village felt a new wind stirring, cool and gentle, as though even the air itself had been waiting for this forgiveness. From then on, the brothers hunted together, they laughed together, and when they sat beneath the Baobab, its shadow no longer felt heavy, but light, as though it too had been healed. So, my children, remember this tale. Resentment is a chain you fasten upon your own foot. Forgiveness is the knife that cuts it free. The child who refuses to forgive is like one who drinks poison, hoping his enemy will die. So when your heart grows heavy, think of Okoro and Jumo, think of the Baobab's shadow, and let go. That is the tale. Carry it with you, and live. If this story has touched your heart, carry it with you. Share it with another. Let the wisdom of the ancestors walk beside you. Until we meet again by the fire, walk slowly, live deeply, and let your heart beat its true rhythm.